The gods and creatures from Norse mythology are some of the most powerful ones, both physically and magically. Thor can even be considered one of the most powerful gods across all mythologies, and not just Norse. But how do they fare up when their sizes are compared? Are they just as huge in size as they are in their feats across different stories? Here are 10 of the largest gods and creatures in Norse myths. Number 10. Tyr. We're starting off with the hulking god of war from Norse mythology. Tyr was quite huge, even taller than 8 feet. With that size, even a pro NBA player would have to look up while talking to him. Tyr was a peaceful god of war, but still lifted a spear if the situation called for it, and that huge size definitely helped. He was efficient with the spear, and he led all the 9 realms to Ragnarok, a huge event in Norse mythology that led to the destruction of many gods. Tyr is called the bravest of gods as he sacrificed his arm in order to bind Fenrir to chains in Helheim. Number 9. Trolls. Trolls come in many different shapes and sizes. There are even fire and ice trolls, but one thing they all share in common is that they are massive in size. They can have a variety of features like having horns, having hooves instead of legs, and even the presence or absence of a tail. However, their mammoth size and ugliness were constant. Viking mothers told their children that if they didn't sleep on time at night, a troll might come and take them. Trolls are believed to not be very clever and can be easily outsmarted, but one doesn't really need brains too much if their brawn is as sufficient as a troll. Number 8. Thor. Here he is, the mightiest god in all of Norse, the god who would never back down from a fight, the god who is worthy enough to lift the Mjolnir, Thor, the god of thunder. Thor is a half-giant, half-god son of Odin, the All-Father, and Frigga, a giantess. It's no wonder Thor makes the 8th spot on the list, with him being half-giant. He is said to be almost 10 feet in height, while some iterations boast him to be even up to 15 feet. His feats are immeasurable, and even though Thor is just 8th on this list, he can easily take any of the other members on the list in a fight. Number 7. Fenrir. Fenrir the wolf is the son of Loki and Angrboda. Him and Hel's hound, Garm, are sometimes considered to be one and the same. Fenrir, being half-giant, is almost as huge as a mammoth. In mythology, he was raised by the Aesir, who grew scared of him as he grew day by day. Seeing this, they decided to bind him to chains by tricking him and using Tyr's arm as bait. Fenrir eventually gets chained but bites off Tyr's arm in retaliation. In Ragnarok, it is said that Fenrir would break free of his chains and fight against the gods and would eat the Allfather Odin raw by the end. Number 6. Fafnir. Fafnir is a mighty dwarf who is the son of Hreidmar. But wait, what is a dwarf doing in this list, you would say? Well, Norse mythology is full of surprises. Fafnir was turned from a dwarf into a dragon by a curse put on him by Odin. He was said to have a lot of gold and treasure, but he hid it because of his greed. Odin heard about this and decided to turn him into a dragon so he could keep on guarding his treasure. God of War 2018 even had a side quest featuring this. He is said to even breathe fire and had huge wings. Number 5. Nidhog. Nidhogg is another dragon that takes a spot on our list. It is far more fearsome than any other creature on the list, with its sole purpose being protecting the roots of the world tree Yggdrasil. If it senses any damage to the world tree, it would not hold anything back to protect it. While some iterations tell a complete opposite story, they say that it gnaws at the roots of Yggdrasil, making it weaker and weaker. Whichever iteration is true, it is surely to be feared. It is said to be a serpent dragon, and some sources even say that it could fly. Number 4. Surter. Surter, also known as Surt, is a fire giant that needs no introduction. He is the giant that gods fear and the one who kills Freyr during Ragnarok. The giant, which could go toe-to-toe with Thor, boasts a size just as big. He is the lord of Muspelheim and has a passion for battle. His name means black in Old Norse, and he wields a giant flaming sword that he takes to battle. While his exact size is not known, one thing that can be said for sure is that his size is incomprehensible. Surter rightfully takes spot number 4. Number 3. Skrymir. Skrymir was the strongest and most cunning of the giants, as he was the only one who sent Thor through a spree of embarrassments. Skrymir was so large, Thor could sleep in one of his gloves. In fact, Skrymir once fell asleep while carrying Thor. Thor was enraged at him and threw Mjolnir with all his force at his head. The giant woke and said that he felt like a leaf had fallen on his head. Later on in the journey, the giant took the shape of a different giant and presented himself as Utgard Loki. In this form, he invited the Asgardian brothers to stay at his place and then challenged the brothers to a few contests and defeated them in all of them. Number 2. Ymir. Ymir was the creator of all, the reason why the pantheon exists. He is the giant which created all the other giants and gods. It is said that all people spawn from the armpits of Ymir. Ymir was huge, and rightfully so, as he is considered the creator of all. He was formed when the ice of Niflheim and the fire of Muspelheim met for the first time. The brothers Odin, Vili, and Ve are the 3 gods who killed Ymir and made the world out of his body. Before we get to the largest creature in all of Norse, here are a few honorable mentions. It is not known how huge exactly Loki is, but it is well known that he is the god of mischief and a frost giant as well. Loki also has magic which helps him take different forms and sizes, so technically he can grow as large as he wants. The same can be said about Odin. He possesses a similar kind of magic to Loki and can change his size and form as well, thus growing as much as he likes. Now, on to the most awaited reveal. Number 1. Jormungandr. Jormungandr easily takes the number 1 spot on the list. He is an enormous serpent whose size is nothing to scoff at. This should be of no surprise to any of you. He is the son of Loki in Angrboda, just like in Fenrir, with the same blood in his veins. No wonder he's so huge. Jormungandr is so gigantic he is also known as the World Serpent. Myths say that Jormungandr can wrap the world around and bite his tail. That's how big he is. This kind of size is unprecedented not just in Norse mythology, but anywhere at all. During Ragnarok, he is on the side that opposes the gods, and he is said to be Thor's rival. He went toe-to-toe with him and both died at each other's hands. That is our list for the largest creatures in Norse mythology. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you had fun watching the video, like, share, and subscribe. Goodbye.